Adventurous kids explore with education and learning what a wildlife is in the Everglades. I want to explore the Museum of Discovering Science. What plants do butterflies like? I want to know about Key West Adventurous Kids. Learning and fun. Adventurous Kids!
Today, I'm going to tell you about seedless plants. So, in a previous episode, we talked about seed plants. In this episode, we're going to be talking about seedless plants. Now, the most common seedless plant that you're going to be aware of is moss. I'm here to tell you this is going to be a mossome episode. So, the seedless plants are the unsung heroes of the botanical world. They reproduce using spores. So, unlike the seed plants that use the seed, the seedless plants are seedless, hence the name, and they use spores. So essentially, their zygotes go into the atmosphere and use the moisture to be absorbed to where it needs to be. I'm trying to say this as delicately as possible. To the other thing that it needs to become a full zygote that will become an embryo that will spread and reproduce. These are most commonly found in moist areas. So you're thinking tropical and subtropical areas. So they're, like I said, moss, but also ferns and liverworts. Now, liverworts sounds like a really unfortunate name, but they're very important to the environment around them because what they do is they grow in rocks and they actually help rocks break down into soil, and it's healthy, like nutrient-rich soil. Similar to the liverworts being good for their environment, moss do something really cool where it takes in all these gases, and it's almost like the way that I picture it is like a net like picks up the gas and it just like holds it, and it doesn't do anything negative to the moss, but what it does do is take the bad chemical, the bad nutrient or whatever is in the air, like carbon is the one that I saw. It takes the carbon out of the air and it just holds it there, right? So it's moss is really good for like cleaning and cleansing the air. One of the more common types of seedless plants that are still around today, they were the first type of plant to ever start growing on Earth. So before I talked about, in a previous episode, about the seed plants, the first seed plants to grow, and I said that was important because the first plants ever to grow on Earth were seedless plants called bryophytes, and those are still around today. They're vascular plants that are seedless, and they can show why they're important. So these are like the ferns that we talked about earlier. You had mosses and you had ferns. Ferns are going to be those first plants, those bryophytes. And why are they important? Well, they're important because they were the first plant to grow and the first thing to start taking life from the water and putting it on land, is that it helps scientists understand a lot more about why certain plants evolved with certain qualities in the ways that they did, but also why certain life forms, right? Because, plants started the big life coming to land. So seedless plants and bryophytes, the first plant to grow on Earth. Moss can pull carbon out of the air and clean the air, and they can reproduce using water, which honestly, I told you it was going to be a mossome episode, and I think that held up. Thanks for watching this Adventurous Kids episode.
What did you learn today?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!
What was the most interesting fact?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!
Yeah!